Okay, good evening everyone. This is Ryan Hoyme, aka Massage Nerd, and tonight we have a special guest, and her name is Felicia Brown. She's a licensed massage therapist and is the founder of and owner of Spolutions, a firm and provider provides training, continuing education, business consulting, and marketing solutions for massage and spa professionals. She is sought out after from public speaking, with appearances at many state, national, and international conferences and conventions in the massage and spa industries. Felicia is also a licensed massage therapist and NCB TMB approved provider. Felicia has won numerous awards for her business skills and accomplishments. Most recently, she was awarded the 2009 Spa Person of the Year by the Day Spa Association, and she was selected as one of the top entrepreneurs of 2009 and top 25 movers and shakers of 2008 by Business Leader magazine. Other awards include the 2005 Small Business Person of the Year by Greensboro Chamber and 2004 Woman in Business, the Business Journal. 2003 40 leaders 40 leaders under 40. So this can go on for on. So
well, you can just stop there. That's
yep, and
way more than I need to know,
yep.
or anybody needs to know.
And she's also a certified guerrilla marketing coach.
So,
oh, there's some echo in the background. Okay, there we go. Okay, so good evening, Felicia.
Well, how are you, Ryan?
Yeah, pretty good. So thank you very much for being on my show tonight. And we got a little thing to go over today. You started a new thing. It's a group practice. It's a group marketing thing, is it?
It is. Is that echo coming from you or from me?
From you.
From me. How do I turn that off? I can put some headphones on. I'm not sure how to.
I'm not hearing any echo on my side right now, so.
Okay. Well, how about if I put some headphones on?
Okay.
And that'll probably cancel out the echo. I won't look as beautiful as I do right now,
okay.
But
yeah, just don't mess with the hair. Yep.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to turn my speakers down. There we go.
That's really clear.
Okay, well now I look like a broadcaster, I guess, instead of a massage therapist, but that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, so Ryan, what you were just asking me about was a group coaching program, and you're right, I'm actually launching a marketing coaching program for massage therapists and spa professionals, really anybody that's in the wellness industry, that's a service provider, or that has a business that provides services, whether they personally do it or not. So I was really excited to get the chance to come on your show tonight because I wanted to give people a little more information about what we were going to talk about in the marketing coaching program, but also to just help people achieve what they'd like to achieve in 2011 as far as their business goes. Whether they come to the coaching program or not, I certainly would like to have them there, but I'd like to offer some solid advice on how to get your practice or your business where you'd like it to be this year.
Okay, and then you've been doing marketing and for actual business coaching for quite a while now, haven't you?
I have. You know, a lot of people may not realize this, but I'm still a practicing massage therapist. I've been in practice for 17 years. Hard to believe it's been that long, but I grew my practice from nothing to a very successful practice very quickly. In fact, I grew it from a solo practice working out of 6 or 7 locations, you know, other people's locations, into an individual practice that then became a group practice, and then became a day spa, and then became one of the largest spas in North Carolina. At my busiest with massage therapy, and this was just after maybe 2 years after graduating, that is, I was seeing 30 to 36 clients a week, every single week. And I built that business primarily myself through my own efforts. Yes, here and there were businesses that were providing me clients, but for the most part, it was growing it on my own. And so what I teach comes from that foundation. How I grew my own practice, it wasn't something I just read in a book. It was really skills that I learned and implemented, as well as tools and methods. And then after a number of years in practice and having my spa, I actually became a certified guerrilla marketing coach. And I've been working as a consultant and coach for probably the last 4 or 5 years since I sold my spa.
So, and what do you currently own a spa right now then too?
Not anymore. The first spa that I had, I actually grew. I sold it in 2005. When I sold it, I had 50, yes, 50 people working for me.
Holy.
And it was bring, yeah, let me tell you, it's like having 50 kids in a way. You know, every person brings with them their own story, their own needs. And while I loved every single one of them and was overjoyed to have that business, it got to a point where it was kind of taking a toll on me. Oh, by the way, I share my office with my cat. So if you guys hear her, she's probably mad that I'm at the desk instead of her. So I apologize. But anyway, I was very fortunate. I was able to take that spa really to the pinnacle of what I wanted to take it to, and then sold it about, I guess it's been almost 6 years ago. A couple of years ago, I actually opened another spa, and hate to say it, I opened it at absolutely the wrong time in terms of the economy. And after less than a year, I decided that I had to pull the plug on it because it was just absolutely the worst timing ever. And I've written about that. Some of you may have seen the articles that I've written. I blog and so forth about it. And all of that to say, yeah, I've had my struggles too. I don't want you to think that everything's been an easy ride for me. I know what it's like to have to really dig deep and find success from where you feel like you have nothing. And even with that setback of having that spa that was really not doing well, we'll say it nicely, I've been able to pull myself back through using these same techniques with both my consulting business and my massage practice. So it's not just, oh, well, that I'm really lucky and I just had all these easy breaks. I've really worked for it, and I've worked for it continually. It wasn't just something I did a long time ago.
And have you heard any ratios or how many businesses actually went out of business in the last few years at all? Or
That's a great question, and I wish I knew the answer to it, but I'll tell you, in my area, the spa industry in particular has been hit very hard. Businesses that have been around for a number of years have closed. Businesses that have just been open for a couple of years have closed. And thankfully, it seems that the massage therapy side of things, I don't know if there's any spa people on the call. I know I invited a number to come, but the massage therapy side of things and that wellness branch of our industry has done better. With all the stress of the economy and financial woes and whatever, people have still made massage therapy and other things that they consider maintenance, wellness, preventive care. They've made that a priority. So I don't think massage therapy has been hit as hard. And I think that that's one lesson that I would share, is that if you can find a way to make what you do a priority or create some type of wellness component for it, then you're going to have a much better time succeeding even when things are uncertain.
and then Gloria Coppola says you look gorgeous. So
Gloria, I love you. You are the nicest person. I swear. Thank you so much. It's hard. If I look good on a webcam, I must be doing something right. So thank you. But thanks for saying that. So sweet. I'm going to give you a big hug the next time I see you.
yeah. How many massages are you averaging now a week?
Well, I don't want to do 36 clients a week anymore. I mean, 36 massages a week was a lot. I was 23. Obviously, in 17 years, things have changed a little bit. So I hit my goal is to see a maximum of 10 to 12 clients a week. And because I have other things that I do, such as teaching and consulting and writing, I don't have to see the same level of clients that I used to. But I love massage, and I'm really fortunate. I have these amazing clients, people that have made massage a priority, thankfully. And I'm really spoiled. I just want people like them. So I've been sort of selective over the last few years. I really haven't taken new clients in about 6 or 7 years until this year, maybe the last 4 or 5 months, I decided, okay, I'm willing to do it. I mean, with a few exceptions, but I'm utilizing these same techniques for my own practice, as well as my coaching and consulting business. If I were planning on doing massage more full time, I probably wouldn't try to do the coaching and consulting because massage is a full-time job. If you're going to see 15 to 20 clients a week, it's hard to do something else. Not to say that you're only going to spend 15 to 20 hours a week, and that's something we definitely need to talk about. Marketing your business is part of the deal. And you really have to commit to growing your business. It has to be a part of what you do, as well as the actual session. So I do want to talk about that when we get into this.
Okay. And then you also, down in Massage School Makeover, we all saw each other down there and many other people for the Educating Hands at One. And then Laura Allen was talking about one of her big things with goals, and she says she wants one new client every single day of the year kind of thing. So what kind of goals do you set for yourself?
Well, that's a great question. And, goals are really, they're very personal. I think it's wonderful. Laura, that's a wonderful example. In fact, I was looking at one of her books today and read that, her goal is to get 365 clients a year new. And to be more specific, it's not about every day that she's open. It's about 365 clients a year. So even though her business is closed on Sundays, and so she's not open 365 days a year, she still wants that number. So that's something very tangible and specific and very realistic, I might say, to achieve. I think that, what she's looking for, you have to remember, is not for her personally. That's for her practice. 365 new people a year might be too much for me. In fact, someone today just sent me information on a Groupon. I'm sure there's lots of people that have heard of that. It's basically a bulk discounting service that allows you to get a high volume of new clients in your door by giving a discounted price. And she was sending it to me because she knew I had decided to take new clients again. And I said, for me, this isn't a good fit. I only want maybe 3 new clients a month. That's all I'm shooting for. 3 new clients a month that are going to become regulars. That's really all I'm interested in. So something like a Groupon where I might get 50 or 500 new people in my practice, well, I just couldn't even handle that volume. And so it's important to understand what your number is and then to look at tools and tactics that are going to be appropriate for that number. The Groupon, if somebody, is looking to get a high volume of people in the door, then that might be a good tool. But I'm not going to say it is a good tool because there are a lot of other considerations you have to take into account. And that's a whole nother call. But it's important to start with that number, and I'm so glad you brought that up because really, that's the very first thing in the coaching program that we're going to talk about is the importance of setting goals. I like to tell my consulting clients that if you don't have a specific measurable goal, then you will have no way of knowing if you ever get there, if you ever achieve it. So as an example, one of the things I hear from people a lot is, well, I want to make more money. Okay, well, let me hand you $10. You now have more money. Is that what you meant? And the honest thing is that no, that $10 is not what they meant when they said more money. So you have to be very specific when you say, I want more of this or I want more clients. Put it in a number form like Laura does. She says, hey, by the end of the year, I want 365 new clients to have walked through the doors of my business. You've got to find something like that for yourself, to find a specific number and to set a deadline too. And the importance of doing this is that well, there are a lot of reasons. One of the things I think about setting goals is that you're actually stating it. You're putting it out there into the universe. I'll go into my woo-woo mode for a minute. You're putting it out there. And when energy follows thought, when you put that energy out there, when you state that, I mean, that's highly powerful. So you state that, and then you're going to naturally begin to attract that to you. But if all you're asking for is more, then more is a very hard to quantify term. So you could get, like I said, $10 more or 1 client more this year, and you would have achieved your goal, right? So you got to be specific and put it out there. And the other thing too, I think, is that when you're really clear, and in particular when you write these things down or you share them with someone, now it has become a tangible item that you're striving for. It's no longer something floating around in your head. And if it's on paper, for example, then you can actually see it. Hopefully, when you write goals down, you put them in a place where you can see them regularly, or maybe you put them in a journal. My cat's helping. I don't know what she's saying, but I'm sure it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like you.
of course, well, great minds think alike.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you're putting it into tangible form, it's something that you can go back and look at. So I personally like to keep mine in a journal so that I can flip back there and see what notes I've put with it, what I've written down, and maybe see how I've progressed down the road, how I might have revised them. That's what works for me. Some people might like to put them on a bathroom mirror or on their desk. Just like anything else, you have to find what feels right for you. But the important thing is to set the goal, to be specific about it, and then to continually revisit, make sure that it's still what you want. And I'm going to say this too, Ryan, because I see this mistake a lot when it comes to goals. The goals you set need to be your goals, not someone else's goals, not what your mom said you should be doing, not what your husband or your wife or your brother or sister or coworker thinks you should do, but what you truly want. If it's not your goal, then it's going to be much, much harder for you to want to do what it takes to achieve it. So when you're setting goals, you really have to think about what's important to you. And, this is something I get tested on all the time, but I encourage people to be true to themselves. We all have this little inner voice that speaks to us where we know, oh, something feels good, or maybe it doesn't feel so good. Listen to that. When you put your goal down on paper, when you say, I want to see 4 new clients a week every week by January 31st or June 30th, see how that feels to you. Does it feel good, or is that is that not it? Maybe you only want to see 1 new client a week. Maybe you want to see 10 new clients a week. You have to decide what makes sense for you, but see how it feels to you and make sure it's what you want. And goal setting is a process. It's really not a one-time endeavor. I say that about marketing too. Marketing is a process. It's not a one-time action. You have to continually market and market and market. As long as you're in business and trying to grow, you have to keep putting yourself out there. Even when I wasn't taking new clients, I was still actively marketing my current clients. So same thing with goal setting. You write it down. That's not the end. That's just the beginning.
Good. And then somebody in the chat asked, what is your thoughts about opening up a new massage practice today in this economy?
Well, it's such a hard question to answer because there are so many variables, and I have no idea what the situation is. But, the economy doesn't mean that it's a bad time to open a business. I mean, really, this is a time of ingenuity. This is when people reinvent themselves. This is when new things are discovered, new services are brought forth, new products are made because there's necessity, and all kinds of businesses can pop up that were never even thought of before because of the current economic situation, whatever that might happen to be. So I think just the idea of opening a massage practice in and of itself is really neutral. It's really, what's your situation? Is it something you have a passion for? Is it something that your heart is driving you to do? Is it something that there's a need for in your area? Those questions would be what I would want to look at more so than, well, is it a good time? If it's not something that you truly love, or if it's going to put you in a really bad financial position to do it in the way you currently have envisioned, then maybe it needs to be tweaked. I mean, as an example, having gone through setting up a brand new spa a couple of years ago at a bad economic time, I don't really advise people to go out on a limb. I mean, I was fortunate to some extent that I had collateral set aside that for the loan that I took out, or at least a good portion of it. But some people might not be in that position. I mean, I can't say I still have that collateral. I took a big hit. But I've been able to weather the storm and get through it. But, it might be a case of Well, if you're thinking about starting a massage practice, but you don't have any clients built up yet, and it's going to cost you a lot of money to leave your job or whatever, then maybe it's something it's better to start out slowly, to build a little bit at a time, to do on the side, or to even just get a part-time job doing massage until you are in a more stable place. So whatever the case, if it's something that you have questions about or you really want to look at your specific situation, call me and we can talk about it and I can help you better there. But if you're thinking about doing that, coming to something like this coaching group would probably be a good idea because it's going to help you put forth a good foundation for setting your goals and then making sure your business is ready to actually do business, get clients in the door, know how to get them to come back, equally as important as getting them in the first time, if not more, and then how to keep propelling that forward, with continual regular action. That's really, really important. A lot of people, as I said, they think marketing is a one-time thing. They say, well, I got out of school and I sent out a mailing. Why don't I have business? Well, the mailing is great, but you got to keep going. So let me know if you want to talk about it. I'm sure Ryan will share my contact information, but you can always send me an email to felicia@spolutions.com.
Perfect. And then for week 2, it says making sure you're really open for business. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'll give you a great example. I have to word this carefully because I don't want to out anybody, but today I was talking with a client. It's not a massage therapist client. They have a different kind of a business. And I just was talking to my client. I said, well, how's everything going with your massage program? And the owner of the business just shook his head and he said, I'm so frustrated. My massage therapist, she says she wants to work, but she's never available. So she'll put herself on the schedule, let's say Monday from noon to 6, and then he'll call to ask her to, schedule an appointment, and she can't actually do it. So he continually is bringing her clients, but she's never open for business. She's not really there. She says she wants to be busy, but then when it comes down to it, she isn't willing to make the commitment to be there. And I see that a lot where, and it, not just with massage therapists, I see it in all kinds of businesses, but where people say they want to have success at something, but then they don't actually apply themselves. So maybe they don't have hours that are convenient for their target market of clients. Perhaps they don't really have office space that's accessible, or maybe they have an office that's really kind of yucky and their clients don't want to come there. Maybe they come once, but they don't come back. A lot of times, and this is probably the most common thing I see, Ryan, is that they don't follow up. So just as an example, it wasn't a massage therapist, but I was looking for a new dog groomer. And I was really unhappy with the dog groomer I was taking one of my dogs to. And I called this dog groomer. Well, first I went by their place. They say they're open 9 to 5. Well, the doors are locked during business hours. So I can't go in and talk to them about my dog. So I write down the phone number and then I call them. And I call and I say, hey, I'd like to bring my dog in to get her groomed. Here's my number. Please call me. And they don't call me back. So what am I supposed to do to try and do business with them? I mean, break in? I don't know. But that seems to be what they wanted, that they don't return my calls and their doors are locked when they say they're open. So that happens a lot of times with people in personal service businesses. They don't realize that it's important for them to be open, to make themselves available, to return phone calls promptly, to show up for their appointments or to start on time. Things like that it's sort of sending a mixed message that they're not really there. And clients, especially new ones who don't have a bond with you, they will not put up with that. They'll just go and take their business somewhere else. So I think it's really important that if you say you have this goal, that you are willing to take steps to actually make it happen. You have to be ready to do business. And, let's be honest, it's a sacrifice in the beginning. When I first started in practice, I worked I basically quit my job because I wanted to do massage. I was just so passionate about it. That first year, I worked out of 7 locations. Seven. At the same time, I carried a pager and a cell phone with me, and I was on the go all the time. Where's the appointment? I went back and forth day after day after day after day because I wanted to be a successful massage therapist, and I was willing to do whatever to get that to happen. Now, after that first year, I was able to eliminate the places I didn't like, but I still worked in 4 places the second year. 4 places, cell phone, pager, back and forth, wherever I had to be. And I worked from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturday, I worked from 9 to 6. And I still usually saw 6 people on Saturday if I could fit it in. So I did that for probably 2 years, and I didn't take Saturdays off until I owned my spa for probably 5 or 6 years. And so I was willing to put in the time and do what it takes to come in on July 4th to see a client because that was the only time they could come in. That's what I mean about being open for business, being willing to make that sacrifice in order to build up. Now, after 17 years, if I call one of my clients and I say, I have to go out of town, or which happens a lot these days, or is it possible to move your appointment to another time? I'd really like to go to this basketball game or something. They'll oblige me because they've seen the sacrifice and they know that I've been willing to do that. But that's it's one of the most perplexing things I've seen in this economy in particular. I mean, when I had to close my spa, unexpectedly, I might add, I was suddenly up a creek. I mean, let's just be honest. I was broke. I didn't have money coming in. My consulting practice I had set aside so I could run my spa. My massage clientele, I had a little bit, but because I'd been running the spa pretty much full time, it wasn't quite where it needed to be. And all of a sudden, I was in this bad place from having to close this business. So I kind of had to suck it up myself and say, okay, I'm willing to do what it takes. So I went and worked for one of my former bosses. She was in a pinch, and I went and contracted for her, doing massage for her. Did I ever think I was going to go back and work for someone else after 17 years? No, or I guess at 15 at the time. But I was willing to go. And do you know what she said to me? I can't find anyone to work for me. Meanwhile, I'm hearing all these local therapists saying, I don't have enough business. I don't have any work. And I'm like, so why am I the one that's going in here? I'm the veteran. I'm the expert, the consultant. But all these new therapists, they don't want to show up. And sorry if I sound like I'm ranting, but I just really, I couldn't understand it. And I saw it happen again and again. I ended up working for one of my consulting clients. Same reason, one of my local consulting clients, because she couldn't get anyone to come in. The therapists that were on her book weren't really available. They'd call in sick at the last minute because they'd been out partying the night before or something. And she was just, she's losing business. And so I was willing to show up. So that's really what I mean. Are you open? Maybe you don't have your own business. Maybe you're a subcontractor somewhere. And, this is true for any spa or service provider. But you have to be willing to be there. You have to be willing to make yourself available for business and to commit yourself. If you really want whatever it is that your goal is, you have to be willing to do it. And so does that help answer your question?
Yes.
Did I seem like a raving maniac there for a minute? I'm sorry.
No, but I run into the same problems too. So, some of my past students, I mean, there's jobs out there, but it all depends on how much they actually want to work too. So if you want to be successful, there is the possibility to do that too. So definitely.
Right. Well, I mean, I actually got to a point where I couldn't do more massage. I was getting these calls, and I have a limit. 12 massages a week is really about as much as I comfortably can do. I could probably fit in 15, but after 17 years, my hands just don't like that anymore. So I was pretty full working, doing these other little things, and I was happy to do it, but I was so frustrated. And I've talked to other industry professionals that have seen the same things. I don't know if it is, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but if you're truly serious about being successful, then you have to start with a plan, the goals, and then you have to commit and be willing to do what it takes to get there.
And I think this is kind of a trend too, because I've seen this so much in many business owners I've talked to, and sometimes the younger population, it seems, get stereotyped too. That's the problem. So it's not
Well, and
necessarily always the younger ones, but
I don't want to say it is the younger ones because I've seen some hardworking younger therapists. I don't think of myself as an older therapist, but I guess I am. Um,
yeah.
I was born though with a really solid work ethic. My grandparents who raised me lived through the Depression, so you can imagine the stories that I heard about working hard and putting your money away, and just really doing what it takes. And it's kind of surprising. I have to blame parents a little bit, and society a little bit for kind of coddling people and making things easier than they've ever been as far as, I don't know, buying a house, getting a credit card, getting stuff. A lot of people, and it's not any particular generation, I think it's just our culture really, that a lot of people feel entitled to getting things without having to actually work for them. Credit cards are probably just as guilty as parents are, because a credit card, oh, you just swipe the plastic. It's so easy. It didn't have to go and save your money or put something on layaway and pay $10 a week to get that coat you wanted, like I did when I was a teenager. So anyway, but I think that people that are really serious about being successful in massage or in the spa industry, they're going to take these things to heart. They're going to set a goal. They're going to take the time to do research and figure out what it is that they have to do to be successful. And it varies a little bit from every industry, even different facets of massage. The things that you're going to have to do, or the market that you live in, it's going to be different. Not every place is the same. Someone just asked me yesterday, hey, I'm a medical massage therapist. Is this marketing coaching, is that going to help me? How are you used to talking to medical massage therapists? I'm like, well, you might have to customize a few things here and there for yourself, but really the steps are the same. Setting the goals, committing to what you're doing, and then, they're really looking at what how it is that you're touching your clients. A lot of people don't grasp what I'm saying with that at first, but when I say touching your clients, I'm really talking about beyond when they're on the table. I'm talking about the various interactions that you have with them. One of the things I like to say is that marketing is everything you do that touches your client and makes them either want to come in the first time, come in the next time, or not come in at all. Come in the last time. It's really, and one of my favorite examples, I was at a very high-end, expensive spa out in Las Vegas a number of years ago. Very, very pricey, very well known. I won't tell you who it is, but it was really expensive, and it was kind of a splurge for me to go there. And what I remember about the visit, aside from the fact that I was kind of taken aback by how many people were there and how we were kind of getting shuttled through like cattle, was the fact that when I went to the ladies' restroom, the paper towel holder was broken. I paid like $450 to be there for my two services. My husband had a service too. $450, and I felt like they don't care about me. The paper towel holder's broken. Now that might seem stupid to you, but that's the kind of thing people actually notice. Think about the last time you spent a lot of money on a fancy restaurant, or maybe you went to an expensive hotel. You look for those little things. You want to see what the extra touches are. What are the special things? How do they make you feel good, right? And that made me feel like they didn't care. So that's the kind of thing that touches your client and makes an impression on them. So you want to take a look at your own client experience, what you're providing besides just the actual service, and see how that's affecting your business. Believe it or not, there's probably 25 or 30 things just from the time a client decides, notices your business online or gets your business card to the time they leave. 25 to 30 different stages or impressions that they get of you as they're going through the process. And I never really thought about it until I owned a spa or had been to a lot of spas and saw where people dropped the ball a lot and thought, wow, well, the massage was okay, but I wouldn't go back because of the way their front desk person treated me, or the paper towel holder was broken, Or maybe the massage was great, but their trash can in the treatment room was overflowing. Those little things make an impression. So you have to consider the whole picture from your client's perspective. How is it that each little nuance is affecting them? This could be anything from the way you look when they show up, the fact that you're prompt or not prompt, if you smiled when they came in the door, if you remembered their name, little things like that, and recognizing that we all have room for improvement. So I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully each of us is, continually gaining awareness of how we're touching the client and recognizing that all of those things are a part of the marketing process. While it might not be overt, like placing an ad or sending out a birthday card, it is marketing, and it's something you really have to pay attention to if you want to be successful in your craft.
Is that what you mean by week 3, making every client touch positive?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, if think about the spa that I was talking about. What did that broken paper towel holder cost them? Do you know how many times I have told the story about that paper towel holder? It's a good thing I don't usually share their name, because it would be negative. But especially when you think about the power of social media and the internet these days and all the review sites that are out there, you want to make sure that everything you're doing is really important. Today I was looking through some different massage books, publications, and so forth, and there was a story about a massage therapist who did not listen to their client. Basically, the client had come in and said, well, I don't want you to work on my feet. And the massage therapist, rather than acknowledging and honoring this, said, oh, I do great footwork. You'll love it. And proceeded to do foot massage on the client that said they didn't want it. Well, it turns out that the person had somehow been abused or something related to their feet, and it was a horrifying experience for them, filled with flashbacks and awful memories and probably pain and emotion, just emotional upheaval. So just not listening to what your client is telling you is a huge thing. And there are so many other facets, but really understanding that the touch is not just the physical touch. It's it's listening. It's being attentive. It's being aware, knowing somebody's needs before they know them, and really understanding that there's so much more about that experience than just the actual massage or facial or whatever service it is you're providing. That every single touch is important.
So true. And then week 4, how to get new clients?
Well, let me tell you.
Uh-oh,
I am always surprised. We could talk all night about that. And, I think everybody kind of realizes that getting clients in your door is really key to being successful in massage or in spa industry or any personal services industry. You have to have people. I'm always surprised that therapists or practitioners don't know how to go about getting people in. And, there are a lot of really kind of obvious things out there, but if I could tell people to do any one thing in particular, it would just be to start with the people that you know. You have to get somebody on your table, and it takes a little bit of time to get the money rolling. Let's be honest. I mean, when you're in school, you're doing all this practice massage. It's great, wonderful. You're so happy doing it. But at some point, you're going to suddenly say, oh, I need some cash. I've got to start making money from this investment. Probably the moment you get your license in the mail, if you're in one of the many states that has licensure. So, it takes a little bit of time, though. Just because the license arrives in the mail does not mean that there's suddenly going to be a line at your door. And this surprises a lot of people. And I don't know what other massage instructors say to their students, because I know you and I, Ryan, don't do this. But some instructors out there must be telling therapists that the clients will be waiting for them when they graduate. And I don't know who they are, but stop it. I'm just going to say that to all you people out there. Stop telling new therapists this. The clients are not going to just be lined up, typically. You have to go out and find them. And so, what I advise people to do is to start with the people that you already know. That's your friends, your family, your practice clients, people that you go to church with, people at your children's school, people in your bowling league, whoever it is, let them know what you're doing. And this is not just a one-time thing. I mean, this is a continual, ongoing effort to let them know that not only are you now licensed in practice with an office or working somewhere, but that you'd like them to come as a client. Might seem silly, but actually inviting people to try you out is important. I don't know why this is, but it seems like the general public, and we're all part of that collective too, but the general public doesn't really, they don't do subtlety well. You have to be really clear with people about what you want them to do. So if you're just saying, oh, hey, I graduated from massage school, and you're sort of whistling, hopefully they'll come to me, they're not going to understand. So you want to just go ahead and take that next step and say, I'd really love to see you as a client. Here's my card. Here's a special offer. Here's whatever, to get them to come in. That's the whole trick, is to get them to come in the first time. And then hopefully you're going to do a good job. You're going to consider every touch, as we were just talking about, and listen to them, and they're going to want to come back. But the key is to get them in the first time. But here's the thing. Sometimes that first time is not for money. I hate to tell you. And if you're not making any money, if you're sitting around watching your massage table gather dust, then you need to take it from, okay, I've made the invitation, I'd love for you to come in and pay me for a massage, to find some specific key people that you can do free massage with. I wouldn't say give it away to everyone, but perhaps start with the people that have been particularly supportive of you when you're in school. If you've had, I don't know, a boss that's been really flexible with your hours, or your parents, or some, friends that have been supportive, start with them. Do a little thank you massage, but also look at people in your network that maybe are a good referral source. So perhaps if you work out at a gym, someone that's at the gym, maybe the owner of the gym, or manager, or personal trainer there, if you have a chiropractor or someone of that nature that you think would be open to it, and offer them a complimentary session. Get someone on your table. You doing nothing is not going to help. So do something. Get some people in there. Talk to your hairdresser, your nail tech, whoever. People that are, like I said, are good referral sources. And then after you give them the massage, ask them for two things. Number one, ask them for a testimonial. If they feel comfortable doing it, a compliment is what you're asking for. Something that you can use to promote yourself, that they're comfortable with you sharing on your website, on your brochures, in an email, whatever it is. If they don't feel comfortable having their name, that's okay. Maybe they'll let you use their initials. You want to get permission. You don't want to just put someone's name on there. That would be bad in all sorts of ways. But ask them, for a testimonial. And, if they don't have anything nice to say, then ask them for their feedback. What could I have done better? If this was a bad experience for you, why? It's hard to ask those kinds of questions, but find out why they wouldn't come back. Maybe it's just that you know them and they feel weird about it. But ask them for that. And then, ask them to send other people in. Getting those referrals is really important, and we'll definitely talk about how to approach that in the course, but you have to encourage them to send you business. This free massage isn't, I guess it is free, but you are asking for something in return. You're asking for feedback, or a testimonial, or referrals, or all of them. That will help get the ball rolling to get new clients in the door. And this is something maybe you're not a new therapist, maybe you're just feeling a little bit of a lag in your practice or in your spa. Again, this coaching program is really for any kind of a service provider. Maybe you're a personal trainer. Whatever, bring that client in and give a free workout to them, or a free series of workouts. Get someone to go through the process that can then speak to your abilities, your talents, and the results they got, and why they think that other people should go in. And it's just, one simple thing that you can do to get the ball rolling. Like I said, whether you've been in practice a day or a decade, it still works.
So the week 5 is getting clients to rebook, repeat, and refer then, right?
It is. And, Ryan, I'm sure you have probably shared this information with your students before. When I talk about marketing with my clients, it's funny. People always want to know how to get new clients. Number one, I mean, that's always the question. I need more new clients. Well, that's great. We can get you more new clients, but reality is there's probably 5 to 6 times harder and more expensive to get that new client in the door than it is to get someone who's already been to you to come back. Why? Because someone who's already been in, they know you. Hopefully they like and trust you. If they don't, better get some feedback on that. But hopefully they like and trust you, and they've experienced what you do. So if they had a good result, then getting them to come back should be pretty easy. And once you get people to come back, then that results in loyalty, over time. That loyalty, that retention is really vital. I mean, when I talk about the number of clients I see, you'd probably be shocked, but the majority of my clients have been coming to me for about 17 years, 16 or 17 years. That's as long as I've been in practice. I have a few people, the new clients, that have only been coming to me for about 10 years. And now I've just recently picked up 2 new clients that were referred to me. So they've only been coming for a couple of months. But the majority of my clients have been coming to me for more than a decade. And then that's bread and butter. I marketed to get them in the door one time. Whatever the expense was, whether I met them somewhere and convinced them to come in, or I gave them a free session, or whatever it was, but they've been coming back for years. And what's really important, and one of the things I'll share in the course, we don't have time, or I don't have the skills to try and explain this without paper and drawings, numbers on paper, but if you look at what the value is of one client that rebooks over the course of 17 years like I've had, it's unbelievable the amount of money that could come into your business, into your life from one person. Just to try and give you a round example, and I'm sorry I can't illustrate this, like I said, with a chalkboard or something, but I have one client who's been coming to me for 17 years. He was one of my very first clients. He comes to me pretty much every week. We'll say with travel, he probably comes to me 40 times a year, because he does travel a lot now. But 40 times a year, that's a lot, huh? So 40 times a year times 17 years. I don't know what the math is on that. There's a calculator somewhere on my desk. But 40 times 17. And he gets a good rate. He's been very supportive of me over time. So he only pays me $60 a session. Most of my clients pay me $75. But I continue to give him a good rate because he's been incredibly he's just been a wonderful mentor and supporter of mine over time. But if we just go at $60 an hour, 17 times 60 times 40, well, you figure out what that is. I'll bet you it's got 5 digits in it, Yeah. And that's one person that I got to come back. We will talk about some of the rebooking strategies that I use in the course, but here's what I did with him. This is how I got him to come back. And this is so simple. Most people won't do it. This is one of those follow-up things that I was talking about, that people won't take that extra step. But I was willing to do it because I had bills to pay and I needed to eat too back then. So I was really motivated to get clients to come back. This guy, I noticed that, he rebooked with me, or rather he never rebooked with me. Let me put it that way. He came in, he was really nice, he tipped me, but he wouldn't rebook. But then, a week or so later, I'd see him on my schedule again. He'd call me and schedule another appointment, but he never rebooked when he was there. And after 4 or 5 times of this, I said to him, I'm confused. You seem to like my work and you schedule, but you never schedule when you're here. Why is that? And he said, well, Felicia, I never know my schedule until Monday morning. And I said, oh, well, if I called you on Monday mornings, would that be helpful to you? And he said, would you do that, really? And I said, sure, I'd be glad to call you on Monday mornings and set an appointment time for you. So every Monday for the last 17 years, I have called that man to book his appointment. I still do it. I mean, we kind of have a standing time now, that, a time that he likes. but I still call him every week to make sure it's actually going to work for him. And that's just one of those little things. That's a being open for business thing, but it's also a rebooking thing. I was hungry. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Peanut butter and jelly gets old after a while. And, I wanted to have some bologna or something back then besides just the peanut butter and jelly. So something simple like that, that's put thousands and thousands of dollars into my business. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to share with other therapists so that they can create that loyalty with their clients and create a stable practice where they don't have to worry every single week, oh my gosh, will I have enough money to pay my bills?
And then Scott Darnell says he has to leave for Vegas. He's packing now, so he says hi.
Hi, Scott. Throw some dice for me. I'm sending some lady luck your way.
And then week 6, implementing your plan for success. Is that kind of like a business plan then, or?
Well, I hate to even use this word, marketing plan. I think a lot of people actually get scared by the term marketing. And in fact, with the coaching, I was almost afraid to call it marketing coaching because I know a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to market. I just want to do massage, or I just want to do what I do facials. But yeah, it is a plan. And, loosely plan. I mean, what's important is not to have some complex document that sits on a shelf or that you don't ever use. What I really think is important is to have an action plan. Call it a checklist, call it whatever you want, but to have a guide or a system that you will use for marketing and getting your clients in the door. Like I said, getting them in the first time, or the next time, getting them to rebook so that you're not just kind of flailing around going, I don't know what to do. If you have a new client, for example, maybe you do confirmation calls. That's marketing, believe it or not, because that's something to ensure that the client's going to come in. Perhaps you send out birthday cards, and that would be something that would go in your plan. Maybe you use social media, and there are certain things that you're going to do in social media that could go on your plan. So just kind of having some clear idea of what it is that you're going to do to get in touch with your clients, stay in touch with your clients, and to reach out to new people. It's really important. And so the goal of putting that into the coaching program is to kind of filter through some of the techniques, starting with the goal. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? How many clients are you trying to get in, or how much money are you trying to make? And then looking at some of the tools and tactics that we're going to talk about. Tactics, that sounds sort of military, but the tools and
guerrilla
steps.
marketing. Yep.
That's right. Well, it is guerrilla marketing, I know. But to take those things and figure out, well, what is it that works for me? Like, for example, for me, I love public speaking. I love teaching. Here I am. What time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock at night on my, East Coast. But when I find out that there's a space tonight, I'm like, pick me, because I love it. This is a great thing for me. I love, promoting myself in this way. You guys may not think this is marketing, but it is. If you were teaching a class to your clients, it would be marketing.
And if you want to look at it, it's not even marketing if you really love it. So, sometimes the whole word marketing gets a bad rap and stuff, but...
I know. We're going to have to think of something else to call it. I don't know what that is, but we'll come up with something.
Yes.
Something touchy silly. But, the thing about it is that I love what I do. My greatest passion, when people ask me, what is it that you love about your job? And I'm like, I love helping people succeed. I love sparking their passion and getting them excited and helping them reach their goals. That's what I love. And so for me, being here, at this time, on camera, whatever, is a way for me to do that. It's a way for me to reach out. I adore it. Now, if someone asked me to go and teach a massage class right now, I would be like, oh, really? Massage? Are you sure? Can't I talk about marketing? Can't I get excited? Goal setting, communication, ethics? There's all kinds of things. But if I had to go and teach about anatomy or something like that, I would shut down. Oh, don't make me do it. So you kind of have to know what it is that gets you excited and what's going to help drive the train for your success. For me, this is totally natural, as is writing. But if that's not your thing, if you're better talking to people one-on-one then instead of being in front of a camera, then that's important for you to know. And we're not going to put appear on TV on your marketing plan. We'd put something different like individual meetings or have coffee once a week with a new person or something like that. And so part of this will be filtering through the different steps or options. Let's call them options for promoting yourself and getting your name out there, as well as getting people in your business and back in your business. Working together, this group coaching is meant to be collaborative. It's not all me, oh, hi, I'm Felicia, I'm the expert, you must do what I say. It's not about that. I mean, to some extent, I have knowledge to impart, but it's also about the group collective and having some support there with the other people where you can help each other figure out what's working, what's not working, what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, to say, hey, I had a success this week, and let other people pat you on the back and cheer you on. I think that can be really important, and particularly for solo therapists or solo business owners, we can feel so isolated sometimes. We don't have that, especially, for anybody that's not a massage therapist, you might not understand this, but man, in massage school, you just feel so warm and fuzzy all the time. You have this wonderful cocoon where people are really they've got your back all the time, so to speak. You feel nurtured and cared for. And when you leave that and you go out on your own, sometimes even when you work in a place where there are other people, suddenly you feel alone. And so part of the reason I wanted to do the group coaching is to give people that supportive environment where it's not just me and them one-on-one, but it's also they have a network of people that they can connect with, hopefully that they can stay connected to after the program is over, that they can continue to support each other and bounce ideas off of each other and give each other feedback on, well, hey, why don't you tweak this or change that with this postcard or with that email or whatever it is that they're planning on doing. And I'm excited about that because I think that could be really powerful. And frankly, I've found students have as much to share and teach as I do. And so it's always a learning process for me every time I teach a class. And I think that in a group setting, we all have the opportunity to learn from each other. So I'm really excited about that. And I hope that we're going to have, both groups that are scheduled now full, because I think it's going to be great.
And you definitely will.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And then somebody in the chat asked, do you suggest subcontracting others or hiring?
Oh, that's another one of those questions that's like, wow, that's just so not enough information to answer that question. It really depends on your situation and what your goals are. I think you have to start with that. I'd have to know more about the situation, what your personality was like, what you're trying to achieve. I will put it this way. To maybe give a little bit of an idea. If you have a vision, let's say that you want your practice to be a certain way, you want people to do things a certain way, you want to offer services in a certain way, let's just put it bluntly that you're more controlling like I am, you have a vision, then probably, honestly, the employee route is going to be the way you want to go, because you as the owner of the business have a lot more control when you have employees. Now, that being said, there's all kinds of tax implications and things when you have employees that you must consider. So it's not just as simple as that one thing, but from a purely practical viewpoint, when you have employees, you as the owner of the business have a lot more control over what happens in the business. When you have subcontractors or independent contractors, listen to what that is, independent contractors. So by the definition from the IRS and what they really expect, those contractors are independent, meaning they can kind of come and go as they please. They don't have to necessarily follow it's not that they don't have to follow your rules, but there are certain limitations that you have as far as what you can dictate to them. So for example, if you wanted everybody to have like crisp polished uniforms, or polished, crisp ironed uniforms all matching, and you wanted them to all work a certain schedule and punch a time clock, that's an employee. That's not, you're not going to get that with independent contractors. And if you do try to impose that on independent contractors, you're probably in violation of the IRS codes, and that could get you in some tax trouble down the road. So you have to really look at what it is you're trying to accomplish, and why you want to have these people in there. I mean, I've had both. I've had renters, I've had contractors, and I've had employees. To create my spa and to take it where I took it, it had to be employees. When I just had a group practice, the renters were okay, because they were all kind of doing their own thing, bringing in their own clients. They just basically rented space for me, and I didn't have anything to do with their business. Occasionally I would refer them business, but really they were on their own. And then now in my office now I have independent contractors. Basically, they just kind of come and go as they please. Occasionally, sort of like I did with my renters, I'll send them a client. But the understanding is more or less, hey, we're all adults here, so it's up to you, for you to handle your clients, for you to be on time, for you to do your own laundry. I'm just providing a space. And, it's great. I have to say, I love it, because I don't have to do anything with them other than, make sure the rent gets paid and that sort of thing. So, if you have specific questions about that, I'd say, call me and set up a consultation. That's not what we're going to be doing in the group marketing coaching. It's not going to be about business structure or employees or taxes or any of that stuff. It's all going to be purely marketing. But, I'm getting some other questions about it, so maybe we'll set up another coaching group down the road on it. But for now, I would say set up a free initial consultation. We'll take a look at what your situation and see how it might be of help to you.
Perfect. And then where can people see you in person this year? What kind of places are you going to do workshops and stuff?
I'm so glad you asked that, Ryan. Well, in the massage world, my next appearance, let's see, I have to think about this. There's a lot of them. Let me just go chronologically, because I'll get mixed up. My next, other than in my own office in Greensboro, North Carolina, which I'll be doing several classes. They're all listed on my website, which is solutions.com. But other than that, my next conference will be in Nashville. I'm going to be at the Pro Knowledge Workshops in Nashville, Tennessee. That's sponsored by the Day Spa Association. And I'll be teaching there about marketing and social media and preventing burnout. Then right after that in April in Hickory, North Carolina, I'm going to be at the North Carolina AMTA conference. I'm pretty sure. I haven't gotten my contract yet, but I've been told this is happening. I'll be teaching a class called Soap Notes That Sell, or something along those lines. And it's basically about how to make the most of a client consultation in soap notes. In other words, to get your clients the best results and to bring in the most revenue possible in the nicest sort of way, not trying to sell people things they don't need, but in other words, to really maximize each client visit and make sure that clients are really being served and that you're taking care of business at the same time. And then after that, I'll be at the American Massage Conference, which I am so excited about. And thank you, Scott. I know he's probably gone now, but thank you, Scott, for being here tonight and for allowing me to be part of that. The American Massage Conference is an inaugural event. It's happening in May. I think it's the 20th through 22nd.
Yep.
Ryan, you might have the dates in front of you.
Yep.
It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is put on by some of the same people that put on the Canadian Massage Conference every year. Having attended that this year and had a great time, I just know that Atlanta is going to be awesome, and I'm really thrilled to be presenting a class on social media there. And there's some other dates too. They're all listed on my website at solutions.com. Cities include Portland, Oregon. I'm going to be in Portland twice, Indianapolis, I think in August, Minneapolis, and I'm not sure where else, but I'm definitely looking for other classes and can bring stuff to you guys. If you have an AMTA chapter or something, call me. I'd love to talk to you about it, but yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on the calendar. It's kind of surprising.
Are most of your classes massage marketing based, or Are you still doing some like social media things?
Most everything I'm teaching this year is social media, actually.
Okay.
All of the pro knowledge workshops. I'm teaching a marketing class, which is an advanced workshop. It's outside of the regular registration. So that'll be some of what we talk about in the group coaching, but it's only 2 hours, so it definitely won't be the same amount of material. The social media classes are also happening at the pro knowledge workshops, although that's only an hour. So it's really just an introduction where we'll be talking about how to use social media effectively, kind of like the rules of social media marketing for your spa or practice. At the American Massage Conference, that social media class is going to be 3 hours. So we'll really have a chance to get into not just the practicalities of it, but actually some specific tools and steps that you can take to promote yourself and to connect with your clients through social media and different social media, not just Facebook, but also YouTube and blogging, even some of the review sites, hopefully. So that's mostly what I'm teaching is the social media and then the marketing-based stuff. Believe it or not, I actually teach waterless spa treatment classes too. I can teach those, just don't make me teach about, petrissage or something. I can't remember muscle names. It sounds so stupid when I say, and then rub the muscle that does this. It's awful. It doesn't come to me. But I do teach some waterless spa treatment classes. However, right now I don't have any of those scheduled. So it's all pretty much marketing. And then, of course, there's the group coaching and individual coaching and consulting.
And then to kind of sum up the program that you're launching, is can people communicate with each other that are in the 15 or so? They can communicate with each other during that time?
Well, right now, and some of this will be tested a little bit. The first couple of groups will find out what works best, but I think I'm basing it on the group coaching that I learned or the format that I learned when I went through guerrilla marketing coaching training. And basically that is that we'll start out each session with some group time where we have a chance to visit and get to know each other and see what people's goals are and what they're experiencing, where they're coming from. The first class, of course, will have that introduction time where people say, hi, my name is Felicia and I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm a massage therapist for 17 years and this is what I'd like to get out of this program. So we'll have some of that both before and after the lecture time, because there will be some time that is specifically geared with lecture just to get the material out there, as I really think that's important. And then we'll close each class again with that group time, question and answer, where people can actually interact with each other and hear what they have to say. Then, of course, there will be an assignment, homework to do in between. Coming to the course is great, but this is about moving forward. So just sitting in a class isn't going to be enough. Just like growing your business, you can't just sit there on your massage table and wait for people to show up. You actually have to take action to get your practice growing forward. So same thing, there's going to be some homework, some specific activities that people are going to do. Some of it will be more internal, where they're thinking and writing stuff down. Some of it will be external, where I'm asking them to explore different marketing tools to see if it's a good fit for them. And then we'll have a forum. I think we're going to do it on Facebook, actually. So that'll be one of the things. If people aren't on Facebook, they're going to have to join. And we'll have a private group on there where people can post, my goal is blank. And then there's opportunity for other group members to comment. So there can be that virtual support as well as the support during the class time.
Okay, I got a funny comment here. Nicole says, how does she do it all? Where is her cape? Surely she has some sort of superhuman powers in order to do everything she does.
Well, you don't know what's in this glass.
Yeah.
It could be some sort of amazing juice. Super fruit.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's super fruit. By the way, Ryan, I did want to add that something that is not on the website yet, but this class is going to provide CE credit for massage therapists. So that wasn't something I was sure about, but I did a little bit of research. I am a certified, or rather an approved provider, but the distance learning courses is something new for me. So I had to verify that, but there will be CE credit. It'll be 6 hours of CE credit since we have 6 hours of class time.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited about that. I do want to point out, though, you need to check with your state to make sure how much they allow for business or marketing, because like in North Carolina where I live, and go figure, Laura Allen, the marketing queen, is on our board, but we're only allowed 3 hours of business and marketing training to put towards our continuing education requirements here. So you need to make sure, don't just assume because it's CE, and this goes for any class, it's not just business and marketing, but you need to always know what your state allows. Florida has some specific requirements about what they want their massage therapists to take. If you're an esthetician, same thing. I wish I could do credit hours for aesthetics, but it's the laws for each state vary, and so I would have to go through 50 individual processes essentially to be able to do that for estheticians, and it's a little labor intensive at this point. So, but definitely credit for massage therapists through the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork. So that's awesome.
Definitely. And then somebody asked, besides reaching out to friends, any other ideas she wants to share for a new therapist? Besides
Well,
taking
my
your
gosh.
classes?
My gosh. What I would say is, yes, I have lots and lots of ideas, and I would love to share them all with you, but I don't even know where to begin. What I would say, though, is if you haven't looked at my blogs before, there are tons of articles on how to market yourself, how to grow your business on my 2 blogs. I have no idea if you can put them up on your screen, Ryan, but I'll just tell you it's http:// that's the beginning for both of them. And then the first one is blog.spolutions.com.
Yep, got that one up now.
And then the other is same beginning, blog.spaclientele.com.
Okay.
And so there's tons of resources and articles and things on there about how to grow your practice. Those are tons of free resources. So that would be the first place I would direct you. And also, if you're on Facebook, I've got 2 Facebook pages there where every day I share, okay, let's be honest. When I'm traveling, I don't. When I was in Miami, I did not post anything on Facebook except to say, wow, it's so warm and wonderful. But Smart Spa Marketing is regular free marketing tips. And that's on Facebook. It's facebook.com/smart spa marketing. And I think the tips are equally valid for massage, facials. Really, most of them will be applicable to any service provider. And then the other is facebook.com/spolutions. And on that one, I generally post tips on how to motivate and manage your staff. So if you're not employing anybody or you don't intend to employ anybody, that one might not be as exciting for you, but those are some great places to get ongoing free advice about stuff, different tips. And my blogs automatically post onto those pages, as do other resources that I like. I'm constantly sharing resources that I've found or that I think are really good fits. So I hope that helps. I'm sorry I'm not just giving you a laundry list of things to do, but setting a goal and starting with the friends and family is a huge thing to do. And then I would say create some kind of a referral program that you can explain easily and that you will actually tell clients about, so that you have people referring you business.
Okay. And then, so what I see on your website too is the the coaching group value. 6 hours of one-on-one coaching, $900. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
people are getting rich if they're charging that much too. So.
Well,
And
yeah.
the
The problem,
too,
Ryan, is
yeah.
what are you talking about, people? That's what I charge,
No.
but that's my rate. But the problem is that you have to remember. Well, my rate used to be higher than that because I work with spas of all sizes. But what I found is that when the economy shifted, I really couldn't charge that. So I dropped it down. And then now, and this is part of why the group coaching is out there. It might sound crazy, but I have almost 2 decades worth of knowledge. When people look at the time, they say, oh, it's, X amount of dollars per hour. We'll say, well, what you're really paying for is the knowledge and the experience. It's not the time. It's not like you're just going and pulling some person off the street to advise you about your business or your marketing. So that's why that price is high, or might seem high. But it's really kind of relative. But the point of the matter is that what I've found is massage therapists in particular, they can't afford it. And that's why I'm putting this option together. And there will be other options soon that will be some other programs that are inexpensive by comparison to working with me one-on-one. I try to provide a really high value for that one-on-one, and I do offer a package rate. I mean, let's be honest. If someone books 6 hours with me in consulting, I'm not going to charge them $150 for every single hour. They're going to get a better price. Just like if someone paid you for 6 massages at one time, you'd probably cut them a break, at least 10 or 15%.
Yep.
But yes, that is the honest truth. That's what I charge for my consulting. And that's after years and years and years of experience and lots of investing in my own knowledge. It's not, like I said, it's not like I read a book on marketing and decided to start coaching about it.
Yep. And somebody in the chat says, things will either cost you time or money. You can learn everything she knows, but it will take you 20 years to learn it. So.
Well, I don't know who said that, but thank you very much. I mean, I have learned a lot of lessons the hard way. And what I have found over time myself is that if I want to know something, I go to an expert. I don't want to try and learn it from scratch most of the time. I mean, there's some things, like if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to learn how to play golf. I would probably go and pay someone to teach me the right way rather than going and reading a book and watching a video and experimenting on my own and then learning a bunch of bad habits that I would then have to pay someone even more to unteach me, if you know what I mean. Yeah. There's value in learning systems that work, that are easy. And frankly, to have an outside opinion, I think for me, I work with a coach too. And just had a session with her today, and it's so valuable to me to have an outside pair of ears and eyes that will listen to my situation and give me feedback that's unbiased. I could go and talk to my husband or one of my best friends, but they're emotionally involved in my situation. And to have someone that's kind of removed and yet has, they have an interest in helping me succeed, but yet they're not emotionally tied to the outcome, it's amazingly helpful. And the group will give a good taste of that. My goal is to help people succeed however I can. But, just like all of you guys, if a client came to you and said, well, I want you to do an hour massage for $10, you couldn't do it. I have my own business goals and expenses and whatever that I have to cover. And so I couldn't do a one-on-one coaching session for $10 or $20, but I can do a group coaching session for a much reduced rate and provide a really similar benefit for a much better cost, and it's an incredibly high value, I think. And I definitely hope people will take advantage of it, because it's a great opportunity to get the exact same information you would get as if you were working with me one-on-one. It's just in that, happy, wonderful, collaborative setting at a better price.
Yes, definitely. So that's what it's kind of getting at. I mean, yeah, the $900 seems kind of high, but again, you're giving a great rate at $299 for this whole package of everything that you have to offer then.
Well, and not, Ryan, there's an early bird special. That's the thing. If people sign up before Monday, it's only $159. So that's like, if you look at everything that's included, besides the $900, all the other products that they're going to get that if you were to buy them separately, plus the discounts that you're going to get from vendors that I work with that have offered special discounts or promotions for my clients, then it really adds up to a lot more than that. It's like $1,500 when you add it all together. So for basically 10% of that, you can get $1,500 worth of value, and hopefully a lot more. I'd like to think that when you take this and you have some of these tools, that the value is really going to be in what's happening in your business. That, within 2 weeks, you've made that $159 back because you've gotten clear on your goals and you've implemented the steps that needed to be taken, that you've seen how you weren't open for business, and that you have learned a trick or two about how to get new clients. In particular, think about if you were to get one new client and retain them for 17 years from what you learn, how much value would that $159 really have to you? That's what I hope people will think about.
Yep. And can
So,
people sign up later then, or do they have to sign up before the whole classes start then?
well, to get the early bird special, they have to sign up by Monday the 17th. That is it's not a week from today. What's today? Wednesday. So that's this coming Monday, Martin Luther King Day, by midnight. After that, it's going to go up to $299. Or, I've already got the groups are limited to 15 people. Let me say that. I mean, I want to keep it fairly small because I don't want it to get to the point where it's too busy and there's not enough time for people to talk. And 15 may be too big. We'll see how it goes. I think 15 is the right size, though, because I know some people just won't talk. There will be some people that will, and others that will sit there and just listen in on the whole thing. But there's only 15 spaces, and the first group that starts on the 24th, which is a 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time start, it's already got 6 people signed up for it, at least before I started this call. Who knows what it is now, but it's got 6 people, and I've had 2 or 3 others that say, I really want to do that. The next group starts on the 31st, and I planned it for the evening, but if people want an earlier time, like let's say 4 o'clock, or if somebody wants to do a morning group, 10 or 11, and this is all Eastern time I'm talking, then I'm willing to do that. And I would open up another day, maybe a Tuesday afternoon or something, if there's enough demand. I just want to have at least, I don't want to start a new group if I don't have at least 6 or 7 people in it, because I want there to be that nice group dynamic, but also I've got to make sure that I'm not just setting up, that's me committing my time. I don't want to just set it up for 2 or 3 people.
Yes, definitely. And how
Did I
often
answer your question?
Yep, and how often are you going to be running these classes then, you think?
Well, the program is a 6-week program, and my intention is to offer one. So let's see, the first one starts January 24th and will run through the end of February. So I'll probably take a couple of weeks and then start another one, maybe March 15th or somewhere in the middle of March, and it'll run for 6 weeks. I just need to look at my calendar and my teaching schedule and make sure it fits in there. I haven't planned that far ahead, but I think probably it'll end up starting a new group every 2 months, so that I have a couple of weeks where I'm not doing a group, but then I have them starting again.
Okay. And is there any other things that we haven't covered, you think, related to your classes?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I guess what I just want to reiterate is that the CE is a part of it for massage therapists, that the early bird is till Monday. If you want to sign up before then. And please make sure if you sign up as a result of being on this show, meaning you found out about this through Ryan, please put his name on there when you sign up. It definitely has a place for you to do that. I want to make sure I know where people came from. If you heard about it from me, then you can put my name on there. But if you heard about it from Ryan, please put his name on there. And tell your friends. If you know somebody that you think would be benefited by this, or you think would be interested in, please send them my way. And if you don't feel like this is what you want to do, or you still have questions, if you're looking for something totally different, contact me. I'm more than happy to talk to people by email. My email address is Felicia, that's Felicia, at spolutions.com. You can probably find it on my website. Or if you're on Facebook, you're welcome to message me through there. Should be pretty easy to find. Felicia Brown. LMBT is actually my direct name. Facebook.com/Felicia Brown, LMBT. But just, ask me a question. See, let me know what it is that you need to know to move forward on this. Or if you want to set up an initial consultation, we're glad to do that too. And this group isn't going to fit everybody's purposes. If you want to talk about your problem employees, or your awful boss, as it may be the case, or you want to talk about opening a spa or hiring people or, anything that's related to that type of thing. Or if you're more interested in social media, I may start another group for that and once we get these underway, because it'd be very easy to have a social media coaching group. I've done a class or two on that. As I was saying, it's my whole schedule this year, it seems like. But just contact me. I'm very easy to get in touch with through email, and I'm happy to answer questions, whatever I can to help you get where you want to be, whether that's this program or not. Just reach out. I'm here.
And one other question is are the classes being recorded? So let's say somebody can't make it to one of them, they can listen to them then?
Yes, thank you for saying that. So everything will be recorded, and I'm sorry I didn't think to say that before. You might want to, Ryan, post the link to the page for the courses again if it's not up there, spolutions.com/group-coaching.html. All the information is on there except for the CE, but yes, everything will be recorded. It will be, I'm not sure where it's going to be, probably be on a page on my website, but I'll be letting everybody know about that within plenty of time before we get started on the first session. I was using a particular site for it, and they've changed formats, and I can't put it up there anymore, so I'll have to let you know. But everything will be recorded. If you want to print out the handouts, you can, but they're all going to be digitally downloadable, so you can save them to your computer and then have them for future use. Same thing with the audio recording. If there's a presentation like a video, which I'll do with PowerPoint so people can see what I'm talking about, that part will not be downloadable. You can't download the video part, but you can download the audio so you can listen to that after the fact and put it on your iPod or whatever. If you want to listen to me while you work out, you can do it. I personally would rather listen to some dance music while I'm on the treadmill, but if you are so inclined to listen to that while you're exercising or waiting at the airport for a flight or something, then yeah, you can do that. And that way you'll have them for future use. I mean, the goal is not to get people into a class and then make them keep coming to classes to relearn what they've already learned. I want you to get the information and have it forever. So, and then probably after the courses, for anybody that doesn't take it, you really want the information, but maybe you just can't commit to being in a program, I will make this available as an at-home study at home kit, whatever it's called. Sorry, it's starting to get late. The brain cells are melting. But I will make it an at-home course so that you can take it in your own time. And I've got a couple of other courses like that now, and one on social media and then one on just creating a marketing plan. But this one will probably almost take the place of that because it's a lot more specific.
Okay, great. So again, if anybody has any kind of questions with anything, so again, before Monday, I mean the $159, right?
$159 through midnight on Monday.
That's like 3 massages. I mean, you could easily make that up.
I know. I honestly think that that should be really easy to recoup from it. And if somebody's not happy, if they say, well, there's no way I'll ever make this money back, then I will refund it. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to feel that way. I think people will feel it was a high value. But if that $159 is a stretch, you can even break it up into 3 payments. So where you get billed 3 months in a row, $59. So that's 1 massage a month for 3 months to get into the program. I mean, I want you there. And so I'm trying to do whatever I can to make it easy, affordable, accessible. If you're thinking about this and you weren't sure, I hope that split payment plan will push you over the edge, because I just don't know how you can beat that.
That's unheard of in this industry too, is split payments and all.
Well, like I said, Ryan, what's important to me is to help people. I've had so many clients over the last few months in particular say, gosh, Felicia, I really want to work with you, but I can't afford it. And it just breaks my heart because I know I can help them. I know that they need the information I have. But just like you guys, what you sell is your service. What I sell is my knowledge. And as much as I love to just give and give and give, I have to draw a line somewhere. So I can't just give away my time and my knowledge, I have to charge for it. It's my livelihood. But I want it to be accessible and affordable to people. And that's why I wanted to come up with this program and something that I felt like was within reach for any massage therapist. I mean, $60. I know you can come up with that once a month. That's one massage client. If you're in my neck of the woods, that's the going rate for a massage, 60, 65. So hopefully that will put it within reach for everybody. And if not, I mean, just stay tuned. I've got some other exciting things coming up. It won't be the same. It won't be a less expensive group coaching, but there will be some other options I'll tell you more about later. But I want to help you guys be where you want to be and make a living doing what you love.
That's like 6 Starbucks a month, or maybe 10
Yeah,
Starbucks.
well,
Yeah.
I don't have that addiction, but yeah, I know. I mean, it's really not that much. So, I mean, I'm paying a coach myself. Like I said, I believe in getting that outside help. I need that outside vision and a push myself. So I'm not just saying this because it's what I do. I really believe in it because it's helped me repeatedly. And I really I see how it changes my business. I know it can change other people's too. I mean, I see it in other people's businesses, but from my own perspective, I know how it helps me. So I hope you guys will, anybody that's interested, I hope you'll do it.
Definitely. And you got to do it. It can only help you. So, any other final words to Felicia? Felicia?
For me,
Yeah,
from me.
yeah, yeah. From
Sorry,
you.
I thought you were
So,
asking
yeah,
universe.
sorry.
Um, no, really, I just want to say thank you, Ryan. I mean, thanks for letting me fill in at the last minute. Please think of me anytime you have a last minute cancellation. I'm there. If I'm not on the road, I am there 100%. And I just appreciate everybody, asking questions and tuning in, and encourage everyone to get in touch. Like I said, if you have other things that didn't get answered, or maybe something you didn't want to say out loud, but you want to ask privately, um, I'd love to work with you. And again, Ryan, thank you so much. I mean, what you do, the services you provide, and all the resources you provide for the profession and for the therapist, just amazing. I hope you realize how valuable you are.
Well, thank you very much. I'm blushing, but you can't see me, so
Oh, like that's a good thing. Well,
thank you.
you're welcome. Well, thanks for having me, and
Yeah.
I hope everybody has a great night.
Okay. Thank you very much for everybody participating, and thanks again, Felicia. It's always a pleasure.
My
Thank,
pleasure.
yep. Thank you. Good night. Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
y'all.
Bye.